Hey guys, we're here today to install something I've been looking forward to for a long time. Stud conversion and flush mount wheel spacer kit. Now this kit is from 034 and it's flush mount to try to get the wheels more in line with the fenders because they're in a little bit. So this one is actually the 15 millimeter wheel spacer. This one goes at the back to provide that really wide rear. And then 10 millimeters goes at the front. Now the reason I went with 034 is actually because of the weight savings. Now I know you're adding wheel spacers, so you're actually adding weight regardless. But what I love what they did is they milled out the back of these spacers, so these are not nearly as heavy as you might think they are. Also, they have a groove, I think just one groove, for you to get a flathead screwdriver in there and pry these off if you ever want to remove them and they don't get stuck and you don't have to fidget with them and do whatever it is you have to get these off. But we've also got a stud conversion because I hate wheel bolts. Terrible. So we're gonna get these on and we're gonna put some wheel spacers on at the same time. And this car is gonna be looking so good. I am so excited. Wheel spacers are something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So we're gonna get right into this. We're gonna take this rear wheel off. Plus, I'm using jack stands. You can't really see that, but I am. Just wanna show you guys, I'm using jack stands. So, let's get this wheel off. So while I'm taking this first wheel off, I will let you guys know that there are several benefits to using stud conversion. I'll go more in depth in a later video. One of them, the primary one for me at least, is when you're pulling off or putting on wheel studs, the wheel just does not want to cooperate at all with these bolts. I don't know if I said studs or bolts. Oh well. But with bolts, the wheel just kind of falls off. You kind of have a hard time putting it back on. And with these studs, it's actually going to be awesome because you can line the wheel up and get it on much quicker. For the thread locker that's going to be used on these studs, I read a lot of interesting things. Half the people say blue is fine. Other half say use red. And then there's a small little sector that says don't use any. Very interesting take if you ask me. Apparently blue in race applications can actually heat up and act as a lubricant and these studs come out. But then again, I've seen a million people say, oh, I've used blue and I've never had a problem with it. Did I get them all? I did. So, it's very interesting to hear all these arguments, and yet they all say that just basically you do you. Someone might have a more professional opinion. This was forums. One professional application said to use red. One professional application said blue is fine, it's all you need. So there's a lot of information going on out there. I have blue because it is removable and I don't plan on tracking this car too much. I could always end up replacing the thread locker, but that would require cleaning it. Someone did mention to put the wheel on pretty quick after thread locker is applied to get the studs resting in their appropriate position. Oh my goodness, really? There we go. Oh, good night. That's amazing. Oh, you could definitely go more. These studs are long enough to be used with up to 20 millimeter bolts. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. I love Harry Potter. So good. Absolutely love it. So we're back. Day 2, just timing wise, not because I failed at anything, although that has happened on many occasions. We're working on the front wheels, getting the stud conversion done. So let's get to it. Do I have the locking lug nut key? I don't think I do. It's over here. I think I scraped the wheel. I'm glad I'm getting rid of this whole thing. That sucks. Really need to do wheel repair on this whole thing. They were curbed to all get up. So for the fronts, we have 10mm spacers. They don't need to go out as far. I'm thinking one day of swapping the 15s at the rear to the front and getting 20s for the rear, just to push it out a little further. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Nice and easy. Bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yay! All right, so that is third wheel. One more wheel to go, then we'll put it down and have some fun. All right, this is the final wheel. We're gonna get it off and get the studs on. Now I will say we're gonna have to let the Loctite lay for about 24 hours so that it actually cures. The set time for this is about 10 minutes, but the cure time is 24 hours. Now, it's a long time. I wish we could just get out on the road with this and have some fun with this stud conversion and wheel spacers, really see if there's really been much dynamic change. There probably hasn't been too much, but it is going to be of some assistance in the handling department. Excuse me. Whoa. Because we are widening that stance. We are planting it into the ground a little bit more so it doesn't just lean as much as you're going through tighter turns. That and it looks cool. These wheel spacers make the car look great. I've seen how they look on the other side. I've already got that down. All right, studs, 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 studs. So the wheel spacer's on. This is a 10mm. I don't know if I mentioned it on the other side, but the fronts are 10mm, the rears are 15, because this is the flush kit from 034 to get the wheels a little bit more flush with the fender so it's not just lost in the gaping hole of the wheel arch. So we're gonna get the wheel back on, get it tightened down as much as we can with the wheel in the air. We're not gonna fully tighten it down. And then we're gonna let the Loctite set and cure for 24 hours so that we can make sure this is properly secured on the wheel, because we do not want a wheel coming off while we're driving. So let's get the wheel on and let it cure. The wheel spacers did improve the handling of my GTI. If you would like a further breakdown on these wheel spacers, please find the Butt Dyno Report video on my YouTube channel. So the Loctite set, took it out for a test drive, make sure there was no wheel wobble, everything was seated properly, and the stud conversion and flush mount kit are successfully installed. There is no wobble. We are good to go. I like it so far. It is a very, very subtle pushing out of the wheels, making them flush with the fenders. You might not notice it if you're not paying attention to it. It is a little more subtle than I was anticipating it being, which is why I was thinking of going 15 at the front and 20 at the rear instead of 10 at the front and 15 at the rear, just to make it a little bit more pronounced. But I really like it so far, and I hope this install video helped you in some way. I'm not trying to be a know-it-all professional, because other people are better at that than I am. But I'm just here to have some fun, to show you guys a good time, and really just do some cool car stuff for you to be entertained. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Please subscribe. And remember, Jesus loves you. Bye.